December 13th, 1944. Commander of Allied forces in Europe, Dwight Eisenhower, nearly a decade before he's elected president, issues a press release acknowledging that unidentified objects are interacting with Allied planes called Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters is the name given to strange balls of light that were seen by pilots during the Second World War. Now, if you actually drill down into some of the detailed reports, you see very clearly that some pilots were talking about structured craft. There were sightings from US and UK pilots. So, of course, the thinking was at first this was some sort of Axis secret weapon. Maybe the Nazis or the Japanese had developed something.
So the question is, what were these things? To this day, there's not a really clear explanation as to what they were.
With the first sightings of the Foo Fighters, the British, the Americans, they all thought it would be enemy technology, and that scared them.
General Eisenhower's office, the Supreme Headquarters, issued a statement that was published in the New York Times stating that the so-called Foo Fighters have created a great deal of concern. It is possibly a new German weapon. At this point, we don't know, but we are taking it seriously, and we're looking into it.
It seems obvious that Roosevelt would be aware of some of these UFO issues. They would be potentially important if they were enemy weapons. The question is, what did he think about it?
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. The whole thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing! It's rotating.
Echo 6-1 Tango Project, over.
Oh, got it! Woohoo!
Roger, there's troubleshooting as soon as I get...
Did you box moving target?
602.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at it fly!
Commander David Fravor still can't explain what he says he saw that day. November 2004, the Navy fighter pilot was on a training mission west of San Diego when he was ordered to check out something in the water not far away, and says he saw something hovering above it.
It's randomly moving north, south, east, west, just random, just stopping, going the other direction, like you could do with a helicopter, but a little bit more abrupt. It looks like a 40-foot long tic-tac with no wings.
Fravor says he and his four-man team tracked the object for several minutes until it just disappeared. Tonight, CNN has learned the Pentagon had a secretive program to research UFOs like the one Fravor spotted. The project was called the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program.
In the early 1950s, U.S. planes were conducting low-flying recon missions over the USSR, but there were constant worries of them being spotted and shot down. So, in 1954, President Eisenhower authorized the development of a top-secret, high-altitude recon aircraft, dubbed Project Aquatone. The program required a remote location that wasn't easily accessible to civilians or spies. Area 51 fit the bill perfectly. It was in the Nevada desert near a salt flat called Groom Lake. No one knows exactly why it's called Area 51. In the summer of 1955, sightings of unidentified flying objects were reported around Area 51. That's because the Air Force had begun its testing of the U-2 aircraft, which is what led to the increase of UFO sightings in the area. While Air Force officials knew the UFO sightings were U-2 tests, they couldn't really tell the public. So they explained the aircraft sightings by saying they were natural phenomena and high-altitude weather research. The testing of the U-2 ended in the late 1950s, but Area 51 has continued to serve as the testing ground for many aircraft. No one knows for sure what Area 51 is up to these days. The government never even publicly acknowledged the existence of the base until 2013, with the release of declassified CIA reports. But if you're ever at the Las Vegas airport, keep an eye out for some small, unmarked passenger planes in a fenced-off area. They're how Area 51 employees get to work from their homes in Vegas.
December 13th, 19...
Welcome back, ladies and gents. So, if we are not wrong, we are in stream now.
Yes, we should be. And sorry, my microphone was not muted, but wasn't working. But now it should. So, welcome everybody. Today, we're going to have another podcast. This is the third one actually, and we have, I think, a really, really interesting topic. As you can see, we are going to talk about aliens, and about if life is possible out there somewhere on another planet. I think we should start with the current happenings. And I don't know if you hear about it, but in Canada, they observed or actually detected alien signs, which are scientifically proven alien signs.
Actually, these statements are kind of doubtful, as a matter of fact, for me, because we just read it on Twitter, but we couldn't find any resources on the internet or website. So the Guardian or the New York Times didn't write about it. But I think it will, of course. But this was like 2 days ago.
So of course take it with a pinch of salt.
Of course.
But what they say is that it's scientifically a sign. Of course, even though if this is true, we cannot say it for sure, because like there is a need for years to observe this to really say that this can be aliens, because it's coming. What they say is that it's coming from 5 million light years away, which is like if we put the Milky Way together 5 times, and that's that far away.
Yeah, that would equal the exact size of the distance.
Yes, and this like because we are having a huge distance between the sign and us. One observation is just a theory actually. One observation can be anything, can be a sign, can be a planet, can be a star, can be something which we don't know but it's in the universe. So yeah, it's one observation which they say is from aliens, but this topic is kind of a good introduction to this huge question that
of course
is everybody out there, or anybody.
This sentence gives me every time chills, so I feel goosebumps everywhere, because it's kind of scary that we are not alone here, and I believe that, and I hope that we are not alone here. And I like to add something to the previous sentences you said. Unless this topic is kind of just it could be a conspiracy theory actually, but we should take it very seriously, because as all of you know, throughout history could get the humanity where it is now. So we have to think over things, especially in connection with space and space exploration and what's out there. So this is important here.
And also so in the past 20-30 years, this got a really big hype. Like a lot of people want to know if what about aliens? What about UFOs? What about other livable planets? And it's a really interesting topic, I think, because people tend to say that our generation is just out of everything, because the Earth has been already discovered, and we are just start to discover the space. So like we're kind of out of exploration. What I think is that it's still really curious, because our time cannot be the beginning of these explorations, and maybe this detection is the first sign, maybe not. but can
maybe maybe our future depends on these happenings right now. What we detect here, signs or anything like that. As far as I know, we can detect signs from outer space since the late 1960s, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. So in light years, it's like just a really tiny, small period. I don't know exactly how much of a time in real time here is a time in like the light year. I don't know exactly how many minutes do we have to add up to reach like 1 minute of a light minute or something. I don't know if there's a word for it.
But I think I know what you mean. And actually there is no word for it, but I'm gonna Google light years in hours, because like there is a word for it. Light years to light hours. Lol. LOL.
Jeez, whilst you searching for it, I want to add that like we cannot even sign or to just send signals to other planets because we don't have enough time for that. So that was the stuff I wanted to say.
Yeah, so here is one site that says 365 days, but I'm not sure if that's right. I mean,
so like one year here is equals like 1 light hour or something.
Yeah, but I'm gonna search a little bit because you know it's more like distance, and distance is here. Distance is actually 9.46 multiplied by 10 to the 12 kilometers long.
Jeez.
This is 1 light year.
Oh my god! And we are millions and billions of light years away from other planets and stars in the universe.
It actually says that 1 light year is 365.25 days, and that equals actually 1 year on Earth. So it's actually more about how big is the distance.
Gee.
Yeah.
So all in all, we have to travel a shit ton of time to get there, or just to anyway. And
yes.
We need extra years for that because like 70 years, not enough here.
No, not close to enough actually. So this can cause a lot of troubles, of course, in observations. And honestly, this is why we are concerned about what we can say if we have an observation of sky. That's why it takes so long, because as we just discussed, it's just something that huge that we cannot imagine. And by the way, as far as I know, you kind of looked up for the history of aliens and this discovery. So, would you like to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, we should. We definitely should.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion there?
So actually, this is like goes back in the 50s, 40s. This actually a whole alien situation, and honestly, this is just so. What we see, especially as a teenager, that's a long time, like 70 years ago. We're talking about 70 years ago. But as you mentioned before, in case of astronomy, that's just a little time, because we have 70 years for our science reaching any kind of planet, and that's very small. So actually, my opinion on that is that this is really just starting. This is really just the beginning of this observational things, and I'm very curious about how it will go on, because now we mostly doing theories. We mostly have theories about this topic, and actually theoretical physicians are in place for that. We don't have enough observations, as we discussed, and if we just think about theories, then wow. We can mention, for example, the Fermi paradox, which is like actually a way of calculation to calculate how many aliens can be out there, and so
this is still just a conspiracy. So
yeah, of course, like it has. So the biggest problem with this theory is actually our comparison as with Earth, and we only have this as an example, and we cannot say for sure that this is the same. So like this is the only way that it can happen. We know that it can happen this way, but maybe it can happen other ways. But fun fact, so the lowest counting says there should be 100,000 aliens out there, and the biggest estimates 1 million. 1 million, and we are talking about our galaxy, this one galaxy.
That's the Milky Way.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot. This freaks me out that 1 million alien and other creatures can interrupt in my little lifestyle. Just my little life. Just, they come here, fly through, detect signs and shit. But what if they want to get more? What if they want to land here, settle here, because they would run out of, for example, supplies or something? So it freaks me out that we don't have the technology and the ability to, if some shit happens here, so for example a war corrupts out and almost everyone dies because bombs and everything, then we don't have the ability to go on and find another planet, find planet B. But these aliens, as a matter of fact, and as far as I can judge it, I think these creatures are smarter than us. So they have more brain cells or something. They have the intelligence of like 1,000 most intelligent man on the world. So, for example, these creatures can occupy our world easily, but we don't have the ability to occupy theirs. So that freaks me out that anytime, anywhere, this could happen. It's like a low percentage here, but anytime, seriously.
So like,
this is like a conspiracy theory here as well. So, as a matter of fact, sorry guys, if we talk a little bit slower here, because we don't have facts, real facts. We have doubtful theories here, and we have to put together meaningful thoughts here. So, we would like to express it that we have to think it over again and again and again whilst we are talking to each other. So it's kind of, this is hard. This is actually hard.
Yeah, because like that. So this topic is just, as you said, so scattered and so unknown. And by the way, what you were saying is really interesting, a really interesting theory. But first of all, I think we should cover the fact that so there is a difference between intelligent life and life, because like we can call a cell as a life, but we can only call humanity as intelligent life, and so if we detect anything, we don't know that civilization has what kind of technology it has. It can have the same as ours, it can have better or worse, and rationally speaking, they have the same technology, and it's because if we can connect each other, that means we use the same channels, we use the same waves, and by that we can communicate, obviously. So actually, it's practically there shouldn't be a huge difference. There can be, but I don't think then we can communicate them, because then they have something better for communication, something which we don't know. Yeah, what you said. So like they can come, like invade us whenever they want if there are out there somebody. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Or if it will, then I am really curious what will be the reason. Honestly, what kind of reason could be that?
I think the next level will be when we can reach the time in the future when we can live on Mars. So we have the ability to make oxygen there, make Mars livable, and then we have two planets comparing to each other, so we can make conclusions from this that we have two planets that we know, that we would or we will know.
Yeah. So what is also really interesting, and I don't know how much you heard about that, is exoplanets.
I have no idea here. So what's in exoplanet?
So exoplanet is an Earth-like planet.
Yeah.
That not means it's habitable. That means it's Earth-like, because
so it has a mass.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. With math, it's rocky, it's solid, and things like that. But so it's like a unit. So there are there are the exoplanets, and we have livable exoplanets, which are kind of a category of exoplanets. And this means it's Earth-like, as I mentioned it, and it's so it can be found in the livable zone of the star system, which means water can be there, so it's not too hot and it's not too cold, because as far as we know, the basis of life is water, and we like found approximately more than 400 habitable exoplanets, which is kind of a huge number. And
like in other not in the Milky Way. So
in the Milky Way, like there's one which is like from 4 light years away or something like that, so pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So like they can be found all around us, and they are all possible for having life there, which is like, if you think about it, we're just observing planets and star systems around us, and like we have that much. So like I think we can have a huge conclusion here, and I will say if you agree, aliens should be out there somewhere in the universe. There should be aliens.
Yeah, I believe so. So there must be someone out there. There must be other life out there. So we cannot be the only ones here. We cannot be. It just don't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So, and what if? So, I have something here.
Yeah.
It's. I'm not sure that is it kind of similar to this exoplanet stuff, but what do you think about it? What do you know about exactly about parallel universes? So, what does it even mean, and what's the conclusion here? What can we take?
So like it's so if observing the universe was theoretical, then parallel universes are theoretical to the square. But like, so there are a lot of theories out there that the universe is in something, because we showed that the universe is expanding. It's getting bigger and bigger. The question is, like, where can it expand? No one could answer that. And by the way, it's because of the event horizon. The event horizon is something that can be found with at the beginning of black holes and at the edge of the universe. These are horizons which we cannot. So like we can just only see one side of it. So it's like a black wall in front of us, and the other part of the room just cannot be seen. So we don't know where the universe can expand, but it's expanding. And from this theory, they kind of assume that there could be not universes, because if the universe expanding, then there could be not a universe which is like next to ours. They found signs to that. I mean, kind of places which probably only can exist if two universes collide each other. These are the voids, by the way.
Yeah.
And
so that's like how a void is born.
yeah, or that's like the theory. Because our physical laws cannot describe that any kind of physical laws, so that's why they said so though.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So parallel universe is, I'd say, the biggest difference between another universe and the parallel is that a parallel universe is like ours, are really similar to ours, can be the opposite of our universe. So like we can say it's the opposite of our universe, or not exactly, but can be the opposite of our universe, which is like a parallel line. And we can imagine that the two universes are parallel, and for example, if it's opposites and something happens in one universe and the opposite happens in the other one, but it's not necessarily opposites, as far as theories go, of course. And I have a really interesting question for you. Like, as we don't know much about it, but what do you think? Are there other universes? Can there be? Or do you believe that there are?
I don't know. I don't know that physically that could even happen, but I believe so. So like, I hope. Because there's one only reason. I'm a curious man, and I'm always curious, and I want to know everything about our future. I want to know more and more every single day, and I want to, for example, I want to meet aliens, and I hope that from other universes, aliens can reach us someday and can connect with us and can talk to each other. And for example, in conclusion, I want to say that, like, if there are other universes, then we would have so many opportunities to like first explore, of course. Then we could compare other universes to ours, if we could, and then we could get to a conclusion and see the differences. And as I've mentioned it before, I want to see if that could happen. And so it's like the most interesting part about the universe is that we don't know. Like, we do know something. We do know like the 5% of the knowledge here, but the other 95% is still uncovered. And I hope that we will know everything. Of course, as the technology will develop and will improve, then we will be able to see what's going to happen next, and we would be able to see if there's other universe.
Yeah.
As well. There's a comment here.
Yeah.
So it says that, what's our opinion on Area 51? I don't know when we would like to skip to that segment here, but we will definitely talk about it. As you can see, it's in the video. I don't know what you want to add to this part, like the parallel universes, other universes, other planets, stars, and everything. So I don't know. Could we move on, or you wanna add something?
I think I just want to end this section kind of. You know, this whole stuff is something which we just don't know, as we explained so many times in the stream. However, I think humanity always got huge step forward if we get into the unknown. We have to go into the unknown to discover the most scary, useful, and futuristic places. And I know there are a lot of concerns concerning astronomy, but I think until this supports going into the unknown, it's worth a try. It really does.
Yeah. Every single time, the unknown is the best here.
Yes.
Especially with space exploration.
Exactly.
We have to keep moving forward and see what's gonna happen. So yeah, if I were the president, for example, of the US or Russia or something, I would spend the most money on space exploration, because that's the only thing that could move us to the future. That's the only thing that could offer something to us, because we've already discovered everything in the world. So like on our planet.
Oh, like closer, everything, at least.
Yeah,
true.
Closely, but we have more unknown facts that we should discover. Cover to take steps forward to the future.
Yeah, exactly. So, Area 51. We were kind of ready for this, and as you can see, we put it into the video. So, just for beginning, what's your opinion? Like, what do you think of Area 51? Is it good? Is it bad? Or you don't care? Or you would go into Area 51 or something?
First of all, I definitely wouldn't go there, because there's shit happen. There's shit happening all the time, and if all the known facts that are in there would spread all over the world, the whole society, the whole humanity would go crazy, kill each other, be an anarchy here, because we as normal people, or like everyday people here that don't make decisions, we should know absolutely nothing. We should just see happenings and live in our conspiracy theories, because we have conspiracy theories here in connection with Area 51 that, if that's true, humanity would be done. Absolutely done. So, but because I've said that I'm a curious man, I would go there, but I wouldn't want to notice anything that huge and that stressful stuff. So I would be interested in like the latest weapons they want to use in wars. I would be interested in like whether the aliens are out there or not, but if they know for sure, of course. But I don't want to read all of the CIA pages.
Yeah.
So the whole world would be done. I can say that. So the whole world would go crazy if these facts would spread. And as a matter of fact, I'm quite curious in connection with conspiracy theories, and I think Area 51, answering your question, is a good thing for make a safe place for the ordinary people here.
Yeah.
So if these steps or these acts would be like viral and anyone could see these,
Yeah.
I want to say again, the whole world would go crazy.
I can completely agree with your thoughts. I like. So I don't want to know shit either about this, but I mean, it's something I think a usual person just cannot bear.
Yeah.
However, especially about improvements, developments, and going on discoveries about Area 51, in Area 51, sorry, I would definitely be interested in it, because there are theories what kind of technologies are there. Yeah, there are really scary ones, especially if we talk about guns and stuff, weapons. But so like Area 51 is the place of development for sure, and they could develop a lot of future stuff what we maybe use regularly, or at least I can imagine that. So like I'm kind of neutral about if it's good or if it's bad, because because like because Area 51 has a lot of bad stuff. Development has always two sides. There are bad developments, there are developments against humanity actually, but if you just take an example with atomic bombs, they're definitely one of the scariest thing in life. However, there are nuclear power plants which are one of the best power plants out there right now.
Yeah.
So like there are always two sides of technological development, and it's kind of the same with Area 51, I think. There is a really interesting question. What's your opinion about Area 51's rate?
Sorry. Has this ever happened?
No.
So there was like a statement on Facebook, like they want to raid Area 51 like in September the 20th or some shit. But I think no one went there. Or were there some people? I will Google it, but please extract your thoughts here on this while I'm Googling.
Yeah, so as far as I know, it didn't happen actually. I think so. The problem with this idea was that, to be honest, they would kill a lot of people in order to defend Area 51.
All of them would go there.
And like there were thousands, 10,000 of people who were about to go there, but as far as we know how these things work in America, and as we discussed this in previous podcast, I think they would kill everybody, because those secrets have to stay there, I think, and of course do not kill anybody because of that. Yeah, do not, please. But I think it's better that it didn't happen, because of course, because of that would have been a mass grave, and because, as you said, the world would go crazy if those secrets would reveal.
Yeah. So I have something here.
Yeah.
So it was titled Storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us. This was the title of this viral Facebook joke. And over 2 million people responded they would go. But actually just 6,000 people were there. But not like in the area, but they were camping next to the area's fences, like miles away.
Yeah. So like they didn't raid it.
They couldn't reach even the fans. So it was like nothing. They celebrated here there, and they had a good. Then police officers and sheriffs took over and sent the people home. So it was like so it took like 2 to 4 hours of celebrating, but they didn't actually raid.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, so I just think it's better that it didn't happen. It's better for everybody.
2 million people would die just because of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you can add anything
to Area 51.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know so much about it, but I do know that it was born like after the Second World War, and it was was born because the U.S. Soldiers and military wanted to try new airplanes. And wanted to develop the technology, but they wanted to keep it in secret because the Cold War and the USSR and stuff like that. So they wanted to keep it secret. So they decided to put this area into Nevada, in a desert. So. Not desert, but desert, in a desert, so no one could find that in the middle of America. So yeah, that's what I know exactly. And they could reach new technologies, like they could reach that a plane could fly on 60,000 feet above the ground, whilst a simple military plane could fly on like 40,000 feet above the ground. So the distance between the two was like 20,000 feet. So those ones, 40,000 feet, they just saw a little point on the sky above them, and this was actually the first reason why people believe that this is abnormal. And as a matter of fact, the U.S. President Roosevelt explained that these are natural happenings, and these are just like everyday stuff. So they actually wanted to keep it in secret, and they officially not posted but talked about the Area 51, that it exists. So till then it was a huge secret. So that's all I know. That's the history, but I don't know what's happening there. I wouldn't be there.
No. Yeah. Actually, I don't know much about what you said and about what we always discussed. So I think for the ending, I have one interesting thing. like for an ending topic, kind of ending topic.
Sure.
And I don't know how much you know about this, but we are in the starting point of a second space space race, because like
Between SpaceX and NASA or something.
SpaceX, Blue Origin, and there is a third one too. So like, it's really is a different space race, because it's not between the USSR,
Enemies.
not USSR, but Russia and America, but between companies, between multimillionaire companies.
So it's like a friendly competition here.
Yeah. Of course, governments takes part in it. As we talked about previous stream about SpaceX and NASA working together. So this space race is about these companies want to develop the cheapest and the best rockets to explore space. And it's kind of the first stop is going for the moon, because NASA said that they want to go to the moon again in 2024, and they either choose the Blue Origin company for that, or SpaceX. So what is going on here is the space race is, of course, government takes place in it, but it's between multimillionaire companies. So, what do you think? Like, is it cute?
Partly, I could say that, because I know and I believe that. Well, so I believe that competition can a real competition here can move people and can make people want the goal more that they want to reach.
Yeah.
So this is what can take us forward, a real competition, and I think it's good that we have a new space race here, and it's a friendly space race between two companies. Like, I cannot even accept the fact that these are two multi-millionaire companies. So, like, I don't know the exact word in English for it, but like privatization or something, like, I don't know.
It's like when companies buy governmental stuff, basically.
Or denationalization. This is the governmental word for it, but like privatization. So I cannot agree with that.
I think this is like also a question of capitalism, as we are at the point that something that is done that previously was done by governments, and it was a huge thing for governments, now done by multimillionaires. So of course this competition is good, as you explained why, and we can have a lot of developments and a lot of steps forward made just because of that. However, my question is that how far will we go? I mean, okay, now they work together with NASA. Now they have the same goal with NASA and ESA. But what if they won't have? What if they want to buy a part on the Mars when we are there? what if they gonna possess huge minds and no one can like beat them? What if they start having soldiers? So like my concerns is all about the limits here. What will be the limit? Because if they can, for example, go to the Mars, they can have incredibly lot of resources compared to anybody else, and it's not gonna go for a government, it's gonna go for a company. And yeah, they can use it for good things, but I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, no one is sure about that. So yeah, we will see about that, what the future has for us.
Yeah,
I hope this will be the best decisions that humanity ever made. And I believe that there will be no problem between companies that are under the same flag. I believe so.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think for today we are kind of getting to the end.
Yeah.
And so I think we probably will cover this topic in the future too, because like this is so huge.
Yeah, for example, this whole money center system and capitalism and everything like that. So we will definitely do a podcast about it and videos as well. So here we have like 3 viewers, so we should promote ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we have a lot of other platforms, not just Europe. For example, you can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and we don't have here, but we have a TikTok account too. You can find us as Blackout or Blackout YouTube. YT.
Blackout ET, Black GT, yeah, something like that.
And like we are trying to be up to date on those platforms too. We are trying to have some entertaining content, and if you want to be updated about everything that's going to happen or happening behind the scenes, then follow us on those two.
Yeah, and actually you can reach the videos. You can go on YouTube via a link that we can share on Instagram, because YouTube does not put us into the videos, so like the opportunities to watch.
Because of like the few viewers we have, so
yeah, we have to reach 100 subscribers, so please guys, send these podcasts and videos to your friends, share, subscribe, like, and follow us so you can reach our videos more easily and you don't have to watch our Insta site every single time.
Yes,
that's the message. That's the real message here. That's the real message.
Exactly. And thank you for you all for being here, for being subscribed, and for also the future subscribers. This was the Blackout for today. And my name is Roland.
My name is Patrick.
And this was the Blackout.
See you guys.
See ya.